Oh. You're unmuted.
All right. All right, let's get going. Sorry about the late start.
Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we test the things we think saying do, first, is it the truth? Second,
Is it fair to all?
Third, with the fourth,
Is it
that's it.
wise?
Good morning,
Good morning.
fellow Rotarians. I'm filling in for Mr. Rulis, who is basking in the sun somewhere in Arizona. And Lance is too, so they're stuck with me again. The good thing is I control the room, so I can tell jokes so on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no shit. So, so today's speaker is the Honorable Rick Gailey,
Honorable.
Mayor.
My wife loves that
Do we
title.
have any guests?
Oh, she's this up. Mm.
Connor's. He's here.
I
spent like 2 weeks in a row here. Come on. But we have no birthdays. Spouse birthdays is Junkyard Jeff, Mr. Jeff Pegram. The 60th is Kel here. They must be celebrating birthday or something. No anniversaries, Rotary anniversaries with Sam Lowe on today, 13 years. Cliff on the 19th, 1 year. We didn't scare you away.
I am scared.
Yeah. Congratulations. Here's to 30 more, 40 more plus. Yeah. Wow. Plus Lake Stevens Road.
Yeah.
Announcements. Hopefully everybody saw Brian's email yesterday about the beer garden. So I guess an opportunity came up that we can they want someone to take over the beer garden, so the board is looking at that. We will talk about it, I think, the next meeting, but this would be in lieu of corn booth. We would not do corn booth at beer only fundraiser. So
You sell beer.
we sell beer instead. So
Corn.
that's a good beer. So think about that. Get your input for next year.
Where's Dr. Q? Can't make any good joke.
I'm just passing you the information, so. I talked to Lance yesterday, he said pass it on, we'll talk about it more next week. And I think they were saying there's something about teaming up with Food Bank on it or something. Yeah. But I hear you talking, so.
I was asking the octopus guy a question.
Oh, yeah, we looked at it a couple of years ago, we could not do it. We could. Or enough manpower.
We don't have time, we don't have the resources, we don't have the permits, we don't have people doing beer, you don't have your police officer.
Yeah.
Well, I know, it's all, we all know that what we need, and we all have heard and all this. So if we do, so, but it's, the potential to make some good money. That's what I think Brian and Lance are thinking, so, but it's.
If we're making money, the corn, that's all I'm gonna say.
Well, yeah, the corners also don't have, everybody's 90 years old plus, so they don't.
Yeah, they're my.
Yeah. I think they're older than you, Gary.
Yeah, they are.
We'd like to see that, food bank parking. Well, that's,
Oh,
Sell bigger on the side.
Yeah. Oh, we have to leave.
As it may. Quite well.
And plates for like 11.99 for like Stevens.
as long as I've lived here.
And there's no, Buzzing just told us that they are no longer host, what they were gonna do Monday night. He said, no.
Okay. I mean,
Is
it's
this
just,
beer garden?
I'm a messenger of obviously bad news, so, bring all your concerns and all that up next week at I think we're gonna spend the majority of the meeting next week talking to them, so. Bring your pitchforks, your whatever. Versus.
So you're telling me I gotta come here next week? To talk?
Yep, see, we're gonna just try to keep you going. So,
There's something new for it.
so just come next week. Couple upcoming, meetings, obviously next week, we're gonna talk about that. And then just I want to highlight the 27th, my boss is coming to speak to you guys. So he hasn't come in official capacity, so he's gonna come. So T Park will be here on the 27th. And I know Brian does movies and songs, so I did it, but I don't know what year he's on, so I'm gonna go to the year I graduated. So I'm gonna throw him off loop. So what was the number one movie in 1988 on this day?
Back to the Future 2.
Close.
Maybe.
Good movie.
88.
All right, and then the number one song. Never gonna give you up, little Rick roll. All right,
Well, like that.
let's do some reports. Lori.
The treasury
Got money?
is healthy and, I think looks good. Don't have anything really to report.
Excellent. Gary?
Always good.
What?
Someone check- We check his temperature. Make sure he's down.
Pick my card. Okay.
Lance is not here. Eileen, Club Services.
If anybody needs a card, please let me know, or if you know of anybody who needs a card. And then I'm also going to be planning another fireside for April. Preferably kind of more in the middle of the month and not quite such a short notice. Probably be a 12, I just have to today. I know, they're awesome. We're working on part-time gigs. We have chosen, I haven't notified them yet, but we have chosen a new caterer for this event. We're gonna go with Hook and Cleaver, and they're bringing their new barbecue. So, one of the things that they provide is a blackberry coleslaw. So that's the teaser.
Where's it gonna be at?
It's gonna be at Carlton Farms. And it's on September 18th, I think it is, 18th or 9th, I can't remember. 19th, yeah. So, and we have a singer, and the theme is country and western. And we're gonna be doing a presentation here coming up the next few weeks about what we need, different, to help us help tear down. And we're gonna stick with the $75 an item for the crew instead of having to do, for those of you who haven't been in the club for a long time, we used to do 2 of the big bottles of beer and then 2 bottles of wine, and then you have to do a gift card, and then you have to do a basket. Now we're just asking, just bring a $75 item, 75 or more. And then Tracy's gonna be, right, still our goddess for baskets. So if you need a basket made, pay her and she will make it for you. And Bob is still gonna do the Bob's Bucket Bonanza. We're gonna do that again, which is exciting. So we're really hoping for a good turnout. So the website should be up in the next month. I'm the one that has to do that. We have Kayla coming up. Oh, I'll make it happen and then start selling tickets. There we go. So, I have.
You haven't seen the latest from the Department of Revenue. Any entertainment that you have to tax it.
That's sponsorships. It's stupid. It's stupid. That's so
So
annoying.
to build on that, if a business sponsors this club, and we even do a Facebook post thanking them for sponsoring the club, we have to charge them sales tax now. That's what's happening.
And I will say this, that,
On the portion that that's off.
but it's arbitrary. There's no way to know what that actually costs. So we're hoping, there's a couple of nonprofit groups that are fighting this. Because it really does impact nonprofits. So like this year, we are sure that we've already started selling sponsorships, so we're gonna absorb that cost. That's just a cost that if it actually does continue to move forward, we'll absorb that cost. But next year, we will have to add that to our sponsorships because it's not because we want to do it, it's because Washington State, it's so sexy. So, yeah. That affects all of that. It's whatever for advertising.
So
So,
if you get $1,000 sponsorship, but you call the value of doing a Facebook post $100, tax them on that $100. We do it for free.
so it's like. It's also, if a sponsor comes and speaks at your events, that is also visibility, that's also advertising. If you put it on a flyer, that is advertising. But it's arbitrary because there's no set, all right, what? So,
Value everything in a bank.
I don't think that's gonna work.
All right.
Any votes anymore.
Maybe.
Let's see here. Raquel's not here. Bob is not here. Chris is not here. Membership, they're not here, but we have, Tony, come on up. Who's your sponsors?
Amy.
Amy, come on up. Photo op. So here's your packet, so you have your badge now, you're official. Dan will find that. And we'll,
What for? There we go.
welcome.
You're
Let's see here, programs, Kendra, you on there? Don't see her, Brand, anything, public image? I'm using my old thing, so I don't think Brian's asked for it.
Michelle's not here, so I don't know.
Okay. Okay,
Really taxed out by having to be here.
past president, joke time. I got time for a few. All right. So, why did Beethoven hate chickens? This is for Lori. Because all he talked about was each bok, 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 bok.
Don't quit your day job, chief.
Yeah. No plan. Yeah, so in light of Gary and St. Patrick's Day coming up, I have a couple St. Patrick's Day jokes. So what do you call an Irish spider?
An Irish spider.
Spider. Spider. Patty Longlegs. Okay, last one. Two Irishmen walk out of a bar. It could happen. Okay, that's enough stupid jokes. James. Happy bucks. Raffle.
Everybody has their raffle tickets? Madam Treasurer, what's the product to today? I'm gonna have our guest speaker. Yeah, ticket, please pick the red one and read the last three numbers out, nice and loud.
Last three numbers in Spanish, dos, cuatro, dos. Usted no muere de dos. Gracias.
That's only half of that. Is that a winning duck? The duck with the M on it now.
We get to $5.
You know, I set up the alley. I appreciate it.
You would have murdered.
That was actually, I helped you out, one of them was that
We get a consolation prize. All right, we're gonna auction off a dozen fresh eggs.
one. $5.
Number 5,
10,
10 here, 20, 11. Anybody for 11?
It's funny.
20, there we go. Okay. 40 to you.
Hey, that's some grocery store cost.
Or money.
It's pretty club.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You want to hear anybody else about 20? Going once? Twice? There you go. All right.
Don't be afraid.
Good.
Checking out my
And
business.
attached to.
Yeah, you're my dog.
Yeah, you have tax out.
Everybody has their name badge on? Oh.
Okay, when we're done, you
That's all right.
I've never, oh.
I'm here on the plane.
Oh.
Mr. PP, are you happy this morning?
I'm happy. Well, weather is not very nice, but I'm not working, so I'm here with you all, so I'm happy.
Well, we're happy to have you here. Excellent.
Mr. Speaker.
Any day, probably this next week, we'll have grand baby number 4. My daughter at Casey, number 3. Giving you a rock here. That's up with that.
You all meet your gravity.
Oh, yes,
Yeah. I saw yours first.
yeah.
Happy New Year.
And coworkers, for some meetings. So I was
Rand.
Happy New Year.
Moving out here. Well.
Yes, I'm promoting, March 20th, the Buzz In, well, Jeff and myself. In March. We're doing a fundraiser for Aquafest.
Okay.
We need $43,000, please. What we're advising, I'm not putting from, just one in, we'll have QR code, you can scan it, and please go check out our website, aquafest.com. We've spent probably 100 hours behind it doing it. It is completely way more automated. It's real deal. We are on top of it. You can join, help, volunteer or sponsor. We do stuff. We're doing the aqua run again, right? So Connor's doing that. He's got a nice little logo that he redesigned with a running fish. But yeah, please check out the website. Please come in if you want to stop by and say hi, and scan the QR code, say happy birthday, put a little money into the pot. We're desperately trying to raise some money. Let's see. Yeah.
We're inspired by hunting the fish. Baseball game, race, that one.
I have no clue what Humpty the Fish what that is.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
So just real quick, Chris, as a guy who runs a team that does websites, I look at the website, just say, it looks great.
Look good.
It's sharp, yeah, really, really much better than it's been.
I will say that is the worst project I've ever been part of.
Oh.
There's gonna be, hey, just make this happen. It's like meetings like 5 times a week and at night and out of email. Got a WhatsApp chain that every day there's about 65 things on it and that's all. But it looks great.
So many you want.
Yes, I play small role in Aquafest, certainly off around for a few years, just being part of all the communication. Here it is a quick reminder of how much work Chris and Kim Daughtry and so many countless others are putting into this event to make it awesome for the city. And outside of that, I'm actually really happy about this weather because it just means a better August of the mountains and the possibility of another just not this. Summer.
Good morning.
Or it's not better.
The last night, I went to Seattle Prep, which I usually would not want to go to. But except my granddaughter was being honored, her and her 2010, 2011 soccer team was being honored and put into the Seattle Prep Hall of Fame. She was captain in 2011. She did not read her email, did not realize that the captains had to give a little bit of a speech. And she was the first one that the other two captains selected to go forward because they had their speeches prepared. So it's kind of fun. And that was kind of a ride for her because she's a reader. She works for Raytheon, and so she has to read intensely. And she says, I read all my emails. This is the only email I haven't read in years. I just read that I should be here on this day to receive the award. So it's really cool. She got a nice sweatshirt with the fact that they were in the Hall of Fame. There was about 300 people there.
You know,
A little school called Blanchett High School. The same one. So they asked, so when we registered, put our names in. The three women said, okay, did you go to Seattle Prep? I said, hell no. But they looked at it. Blanchett. And the fellow looked at it and said, really? I said,
but no doubt she knocked her door.
he did. He actually did. All right. Yeah, Connor.
Really?
Not you be here.
I love it.
Now I just wish it was sick, but I hope it does for.
No.
Well, then you're living with them.
No.
It's March, it's not winter, it's.
We're spring. I'll take the case on it.
All right, good morning, you're happy.
I am happy. I'm very excited. So if it's 6, I'm going sledding.
Yeah.
I'm going
Is Tony gonna go sledding?
Like, there's that, like, I'm sorry, so, one of our first days was here, like, Steve, there, we wanted to go sledding.
When I heard there was snow here.
There was snow here, drove all the way up here, went in a park to try to be sledding, a little tiny little.
Why?
So far removed.
Audrey's, member from the first group.
Morning, Todd, are you happy?
Scoreboard. It worked out.
Yeah. He's busy, putting groceries.
All right, Victor. I'm happy and, happy with Friday. I wish, we make a decision on whether we want to have daylight savings or not. Because it's ridiculous.
Well, Canada.
Yeah.
So we just went into our 51st state.
I agree with that. But,
Not the whole country though, thank you.
But, I'm very happy it's Friday, who works for a Canadian bank, by the way, here, and have to deal with that all day long, so that's funny. And also happy that I get to go to Reno for the weekend, my stepfather's 95th birthday. Surprise, everybody's coming in and he doesn't know it, so, yeah, 95 years old. Still kicking, lives at home. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, just.
Todd.
I also love the snow. It makes me feel like a kid.
Happy Bucks. I love the snow, just not this weekend. We have our brunch tomorrow. So there are a couple of extra seats if you haven't signed up for brunch, from 11 to 1. Please come. Sherwood's first, but it's 11 to 1, and Heidi Sandwich Board's catering it. So there'll be biscuits, gravy, bacon. We have a really wonderful speaker. It's 2 hours. Yeah, I can send you a link if you like.
You say that out loud? You say that out loud?
I saw that. Thank you. Yes.
No.
Yeah, so it's brunch, and then it's a very short program, it's not gonna be too terribly long, but, so yes, and then also May 19th, or May 9th, and I know you probably think I'm a broken record, but, Sherwood's Gala is coming up on May 9th, and, the theme is Kentucky Derby, so get your big ass hats, because we want you all there.
And your red jewels.
Yes, and that's going to be the first trade, that's gonna be the first live auction, trade.
And thank you for your constant.
I feel like I'm like, hi. Thank you. And thank you to all who've sponsored and bought tickets already.
Happy surprised that it's Friday and I had to go into work yesterday, but I'm not going to, oh shoot, I'm going tomorrow. I have computers that die, so I'm dragging my computer expert with me.
You know a guy? You know a guy, right?
No, right?
Now, they've got $10 to give the Rotary Club, Blake Stevens.
Nice to meet you. And happy Friday, and happy stuff, and happy to do it, y'all. That would be. You got more eggs.
Right in there.
I
There you
That's the first referral. If they see it, they will want it.
They bet one, yeah.
We're the $9.
So last because I was hearing people talking about the late Stevens thrift store. And I was like, I know Raquel. And so Ren got me this. So I was wishing Red Buckets. And so I was wishing Raquel was here. Hi, girl.
Sure, I'll text it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to let me know so she can find
Just
me.
don't have to,
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
We all texted.
One.
Yeah, we should. We should. Wait. Yeah. Do that.
Wait, everybody else gets
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna- we can just work.
Oh, all we're doing is probably.
That's hilarious.
Let's go on the website.
If you run into everybody text, you're just gonna be like, what? What? Like, me.
All right, thank you. Now our
It
speaker
is 5:09.
said the Honorable
9:09.
Brett Gailey, Mayor of Lake Stevens. You know, state of the city of this.
1-3.
You guys-
Let's, I like Todd up there, but let's see if we can't get rid of Todd. Somehow. What do we think? What do we think here? Let's put him down here. I like it. All right, let's talk about the city. I'm gonna go through, kind of talk about what we did this last year. There's some stuff coming up this year, and then we'll open up for questions. We'll just see what the city's got going on. Maybe. So a little bit, I mean, talking to the choir on, preach to the choir on this slide. We know the great positioning that the city is in. For the gateway to the Cascades, East Snohomish County, and all the great recreational amenities. We have great history, timber and mining, resort town. So lots of really cool history that we've built upon in the city and we're moving forward with. These are the departments that we have within the city. This is what we do. We have an administration section. We have community development. That's where your permitting folks are, and zoning and comprehensive plan. We have a finance department, HR, the police. We have a pretty robust police department, although I would like to kick up the number of officers we have. We currently have 34 officer slots is what we have. Of those 34, we're short 4. So if you want to be a policeman, go join up. You and Chris? All right, good. We've got a great IT section. 2-3 years ago, we set up a parks and rec department, which has been doing some stellar work, and then public works as well. And as you can see, that number there is 41,000. We're about, I'd say more like 42,000 right now in the city. Put that in context. Let me pull my phone up. Hold on a second. We were 8,000 people in 2008. Yeah.
Wow.
Say that again?
We were 8,000 people in 2008.
When the
Yeah, so it was like 10. Yeah, when we did a bunch of the county on the west side. So that increased the numbers quite a bit. Yeah. This is your current city council. If you don't know, now you know. We have essentially four new city council members, which I will say this, I've actually been pleasantly surprised. it's a challenge, but they're stepping up and learning quite a bit. And I think so in doing so in a humbly manner, which is good to see. Because there's, city council, there's a lot to learn and a lot to try to base your decisions on. And I think they're doing a good job, the new folks. And the old folks, it's funny, like Angie and I are old now. I've been mayor for going on 7 years. Angie's been on the council for same time, right? So we're like the old, we're the OGs at this point. We did have a council member pass away, and many of you know Marcus Tangent. He was a member of this Rotary. One of the things we're doing for Marcus is, well, we're gonna, I'll talk about it a little later on, but we're remodeling. If you don't know, we have where the police station is and the subway building in front of that. We owned that. 2 years ago, we bought the rest of that complex. So now we own this 4 buildings right across from Top Gun.
Oh.
And so we will be kicking off here shortly a remodel of the front building that will become City Hall. In front of that is an old pond. And one of the things, it's kind of interesting. So I'm actually headed to National League of Cities tomorrow in DC. The last time I saw Marcus was at National League of Cities. And we were having dessert. He always liked to buy me dessert. He told me about that pond, and when he was a kid, he used to catch bluegill out of that pond. So after his passing, I thought it very appropriate that we do an interpretive trail for Marcus as part of this project. I know that Lance has offered to put in a bench there. And if anybody would like to contribute to that project, we're more than willing to take a little cash on that and help build that project. I know I've talked about this quite a bit. We do a lot of Lean Six Sigma training, a lot of Lean Six Sigma work within the city. It's something I started right when I became mayor. We run 2 or 3 green belt trainings a year and 1 black belt training a year. We have probably about 45% of our staff is either green or black belt trained. And when we host sessions now, we have a lot of outside organizations showing up. Amazon, PUD has been sending a lot of people, Alderwood, Water, Linwood, different cities, different private organizations. And it's about a 14 to 16 person course when we do these. And it's just been a great resource for the city, not only to train our own folks, but to network outside of our own folks and see how other organizations do business. And it's really helped out our process.
Here's just a question.
Yeah, sure.
So I work in TV.
Yeah.
Green belt.
Okay.
Oh, that thing is that big to the city here when you're using that level of sophistication. Like that's really good stuff here. When you talk about Lean Six Sigma, that's the ultimate in being super efficient, super productive. So I'm curious if there's a way to know how much more efficient that makes the process.
Yeah. So as far as KPIs, we look at to answer your question.
Yeah.
As far as the KPIs, what we look at is the individual projects that we're doing, and I've got a couple that we're gonna highlight. But really, like, I'll tell you, one of the things it does for me is it focuses me and it reins me in with my staff, because everything we do on a 6-month charter now, right? And so when Mayor Gailey comes back with a really cool, good idea, idea, my staff always reins me in. Hey, we do things on a 6-month charter, Mayor. Let's plan this out. So that's one area that's really helped out with, is reining me in. I know that we're starting. Yeah, the next one starts, they're in the middle of one. Yeah.
Is that every Wednesday?
So yeah, they do Wednesday for like 8 weeks. Yeah. And then the next black belt's in September.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. If you watch our website, we always announce it, and you can just jump in. Yeah. Some of the success stories, Gus Bacca, he's a new hire. We have him, control specialist. he's using a lot of these skills to look at how we're doing inventory, how we do tools, and making sure that we have the right inventory on time for our public works jobs. Brandon Conley has worked this as well in organizing a lot of the space in public works. And then Lauren Frederick, who runs our safety and training coordinating. But one of the things you got to remember, so we 8,000 people in 2008, 42,000 people. Our city government didn't grow with it. And that's not a hit on anything in between, on any leadership in between. It was just a fast growth, right? And so the services you expect out of your city didn't really grow with that growth. And so this Lean Six Sigma and the processes we're doing has really been a great opportunity for us to go back and start providing those services at the level you want. And it's all these little small projects that get us there, right? Internship. Last year we had 5 interns. First time we ran an internship project, and those guys killed it for us. We had some GIS. We had 2 guys working our GIS layers and putting all our assets and all of our issues inside GIS so that our asset management can read those issues and our assets. That was a great project. We also had one in HR who did quite a bit of work, helped out with our emergency management planning, and the internship was great. And we're stoking that back up again for this year. Work orders. I think you always hear me talk about Citizen View. We have currently we have ViewWorks as our asset management, asset maintenance program. We're actually shifting away from them. They're kind of too small for us now. So we're switching to another company called Citizen, not NeoGov, because that's our other one. What? No, I'll think of it in a minute. We're switching to another company that will give us more capabilities. We do have the Citizen View app, and we'll have a new app once we shift to this new company. And if you don't know what Citizen View is, my 4 and 5-year-old do. They know that as we walk around town and there's a problem, cracked sidewalk, weird street sign, that Dad can hit it with his phone, geolocate it, send in a work order for Public Works to be able to go through that. Our Public Works guys did over 10,000 work orders last year, which is a lot. Volunteer opportunities. We always look for volunteers. We have openings right now within our boards and commissions. So I think the Civil Service Commission has an opening right now, and maybe the Salary Commission. So we're always looking for opportunities. I will always talk about Just Serve. I would like more and more of our organizations within the city to start using Just Serve, so it becomes that repository of volunteer opportunities for our citizens to go to see what's coming up, where they can volunteer on whatever projects, whether that's Rotary, maybe Aquafest, or whatever it might be. It's a great clearinghouse of those volunteer opportunities.
What's civil service, right?
I'm sorry, what?
What is civil service? Is that?
Yeah, so it's mostly for the police, for the POPO. When we get a new list of possible police officer candidates, it has to go to a civil service board or commission to say, yes, the city went through all the right steps to vet them and put them on the list. It's kind of a check the box, but it's meaningful. Bayview. Last year we cut the cut the ribbon for the Bayview Trail. This was something I ran on in 2019, was to create a under the power line trail from 20th Street going north to Marysville. And we cut the ribbon on the first section this last summer. Who has not been on that trail? Okay, perfect. Time to get on it. Let's go do it right after this. So right now we run from 20th Street to 12th Street. And then this spring, we will run from 12th Street to 8th Street. We're currently in design and engineering to go from 8th Street to 204 with that project. So great project. If you, I get on that trail quite a bit, and there's always someone on it. Always some kids learning how to ride their bikes. That's where my kids learned. That bridge you see down there, I'm just waiting for an ambulance to go pick up either Weston or Easton because they slide their little scooters down that thing, and I'm just waiting for them to plant into the steel post. But it is a great section of park. It's just really cool. And we've got a great dog park in there as well that I've been noticing more and more folks taking their dogs in there.
Briefly, the section from 12 to 8, does that mean widening a sidewalk?
Yeah, so 12th to 8th, if you don't know it, it's people don't know that road, but there's like this little skinny road that drops down into a gully and it kind of jogs a little bit. I'm sorry, 12th Street.
12 to 8.
Yeah, 12 to 8.
You're talking about, east of.
Yeah, so east of
Trail there.
yeah, so it goes under the power line over there. So we have to we'll change the road structure a little bit. And so you'll actually go to 8, go east, and then you'll get on the trail going north. Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. Because the trail's underneath it already. So yeah, we just gotta pave it. That shows a little bit about the future. We already talked about that, but eventually we'll end up all the way up in, just to show you. So this is that trail. This is Soper Hill Road right here. So eventually we'll end up all the way up into here, up off Soper Hill, and connect with Marysville's trail who's coming south. And so you'd be able to get on at 20th and go all the way to Marysville, get on Centennial Trail, go from anywhere at that point.
That's the one, that's the north end of where the except for the enforcement. Right?
Yeah, with Marysville. Yeah, super cool project. Yeah, so the connection will be, so this is Marysville's trail. This is Soper Hill Road, right? Chick-fil-A where we got a chicken. Okay, so it'll connect right to that where that first round, second round. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool project. Caballero Hill. So we stood up the 2-3 years ago, and one of the reasons why we needed to stand that up is the county parks wants to give us 2 properties. The Caballero Hill Park property where the skate park is, and also they want to give us community fields. They wouldn't give it to us until we had a viable parks department stood up. So we stood that up, and so this last year we took over Caballero Hill. So the city now owns and runs the skate park, the little dog park that's there. And we are in just finalizing. We did a request for proposal on that piece of property to put in a community facility. And we had 2 applicants for that. And we're just finishing up the agreement with the winner of that RFP to figure out a way forward on the community project that will go there. It looks like a 30,000 square foot community building that will have wellness in it. It will have the senior services in it. It'll have community services in it. And then it'll also have about an 80,000 square foot indoor sports facility in it as well. So at this point, just need some rich uncles and about $70 million, and we'll build that bad boy. So. Yeah. Don't talk about sponsors because they might get taxed. Yeah. Kind of a cool project, and I know Lance was part of this. Allison Jones, she is a great citizen of Arlington, I think, actually. She approached me about a year or 2 ago about putting in some communication boards in our parks to help out. Her daughter has apraxia, which is some communication difficulties for her. And so these boards help her out to be able to communicate better. So if you see those in the parks, that's what they're there for. And I think, what's that? Oh, I would love to point out Gracie. Let's see, not there. Oh, there's. Yeah.
I think that's a fine.
Oh. And Rotary donated to that as well, so thank you. One of the things I've encouraged staff to do since becoming mayor is making sure that we are networking and learning outside of our organization. I think it's really important that we, one, are learning from others, two, sharing what we've learned with them as well. And so we do go to some conferences and trainings, not only within the state, but nationally as well. And we've been recognized for some of the great work that we've been doing at some of these organizations. Grant awards. We are very, very aggressive when it comes to grant money. A lot of your money leaves your pockets and goes to other places other than your city. And I consider it one of my jobs to go grab as much of that and bring it back. And that usually looks like grant money. So just some of the great stuff, great areas we work on. One of the ones I wanted to bring out. So this is an interesting one. The Safe Routes to School money. You know, a couple of years ago, the voters okayed a transportation benefit district within the city to help build out our sidewalks, right? And when you have a pool of this money, so that raises about $1.6 million a year for us to build out sidewalks and some other road things within the city. What's really interesting about that pot of money is organizations outside of us know we're going to spend the money and know we're going to do it quick. And that's what they want. So for example, that $800,000 was money that another city couldn't spend. They called us and said, hey, do you have a project next summer? I'm like, yeah, here's $800,000, because they know we're going to spend it, right? So that will go towards our project. One of our projects this summer for the TBD is to finish up the sidewalks from Lake Stevens Middle School down to 20th. So want to guess how much that project is?
$800,000.
No.
Way more than it should be.
About $3 million. So Olivia, she runs half communications for the city and half grants. So she does some of the grants. She mostly like clearinghouse the work of other folks within the city. So it kind of depends on which grant it is on who writes it. And then Olivia kind of shepherds it after that. This is our city administration folks. So me and Jean, and then our city clerks folks are all within this. So one of the big things there, let me go back to that. Public records requests, 1,900 public records requests. I have about 6 of my employees focus on public records requests. Isn't that crazy?
Full time.
Almost full time. Yeah. That is outrageous.
What are most of the requests?
Most of the requests are in the police department, right? Like traffic accident reports and that kind of stuff. But then we also get like silly ones that are very, very onerous to complete and take an incredible amount of time. The state of Washington, unfortunately, is very liberal in the public disclosure request laws. And it gets taken advantage of by people looking from a commercial perspective, that if you don't fulfill this in such and such time, you get fined. Yeah. Yeah, we haven't paid any fines that I can think of, but because we're pretty much on it, but that is a problem. Some of our finance accomplishments. They obviously track all the money going in and out of the city, all of our capital projects that are going on. shows a little bit about how we're funded within the city. I will say this, and I'll bring it up in Q&A if we want to talk about it more. This last budget session, this last fall, was very, very difficult. And our finance folks were able to do quite a bit of moving around of money to make sure that the budget balanced. But it might be a little more concerning coming up in the next session. HR accomplishments. So we completed a rebuild of the strategic plan, including our mission and guiding principles over this last year and looking at strategic areas to focus on. We onboarded 25 new employees and promoted 11 employees. So one of the things, Cliff, that's interesting about Lean Six Sigma and some of the processes we've been going through is it's created a lot more efficiencies and it's created accountability. And so what we've seen over my tenure as mayor is some of the folks that don't like that have wanted to go somewhere else, which is fine. You can always give them an opportunity to move somewhere else. So there's been some turnover because of, I think, a more efficient and better run city. IT, I get nerdy into the IT thing from the AI standpoint. They do a great job. I had 2 years ago, not to get too nerdy, but one of our databases literally blew up physically. And it's because the mayor wasn't listening and realizing that they'd been telling me, hey, like, we need to replace this. We need to replace this. And we didn't budget. And then it blew up. And then I realized why we needed to replace it. So IT is a really interesting arena that if you don't listen to them, could really punch you in the face down the road. In the AI area, we've been running, Lake Stevens is actually known for what we're doing in AI, not only within the state, but I'll be on a panel next week in Washington, D.C. talking about what we're doing with AI. And it goes back to that about 2 years ago, I had a lot of great ideas about AI. And when I came back and said, hey, we're going to do all this stuff. And again, that 6-month charter thing. And in the first 6-month charter that we did with AI, we said we need to look at educating our folks on it. We need to look at security of our AI usage. We need to look at our data, right? Because it doesn't matter what AI tools you put on your data. If your data sucks, your answers suck, right? So I've been really hesitant. There's a lot of chatbots that cities are putting on their websites. If you put a chatbot on my website right now, you would probably pull up today's permitting info, but you might pull up 2016 permitting info. And if you want to get people unhappy about AI, give them a bad answer up front. So we've been really selective on what we're doing with AI. And in fact, what came out of the first charter was the security side. And we've implemented over this last year a company called Darwin AI, who's developed, I call it McAfee. You use McAfee to secure your internet. I use Darwin AI to secure my AI within the city. I can see what kind of AI people are using within the city. Are they using ChatGPT, Claude, whatever they're using? Is it authorized? Is it unauthorized? Is it shadow? We have AI policy, and it is codified into Darwin AI. And so, for example, a couple of weeks ago, I was at my desk and I switched over to my personal ChatGPT, and I was doing some stuff on it. And this little bubble came up and said, you can't do that. That's against your policy. And I was like, this is what I bought it for. And then I had to go home and get on my personal computer. So we're able to really control what's going on with AI, making sure that information is not getting into the AI world that shouldn't be. And it's just been a great tool. They're also partnering with us also to develop additional products. One of them is I told them my dream AI product is when someone's grumpy at Mayor Gailey at 1 a.m. after they've had too many glasses of wine, and they've jumped on our public disclosure request site and they've asked for every email I've ever sent. And I want a system that will read that request, understand the request, then go into all the databases to find the pertinent information, then put it into a folder that then redacts it all. And then when sleepy city clerk wakes up and comes into work at 8 a.m. in the morning, that process is 80% done on a public disclosure request. So we're building that right now. And that's becoming a national, everyone's watching us do it. Wow. It's interesting. All right, Parks and Rec. Acquired Cavallero. We put in the non-motorized dock at North Cove this last year. The communication boards. Sarah, the director there, has just been doing a great job. She's the right person at the right time in the organization. And she's really trying to get that park up and running, and trying to make sure, trying to figure out within our budget, she's our big deficit. And so we've got to figure out how we're going to pay for parks in Lake Stevens. That's a big concern for me. Planning community development. These are your permitting folks. These are your comprehensive plan folks. These are also the folks who are doing projects like the city hall remodel. Lots and lots of work being done in there. I will tell you that is it on here? They received an award this last year of being, I think it's the 4th best city in the state as far as getting your permits through and done in a timely manner. Police department, we still rank in the top 10 safest cities in the state of Washington here in Lake Stevens. There's the polar plunge they like to do every year for the Special Olympics. If you don't know what the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force is, Detective Parnell has gotten some great awards from that. They do internet crimes, child pornography, that sort of thing on the internet. That's the task force. And yeah, good stuff there. Public Works, talked about 10,000 work orders in 25. We did quite a bit of sidewalks repairs around the city, and as well as ADA ramps. How are we feeling about the new 3-way stop in Machias at the end of the lake? We're hating it? Who's a hater? Oh, Anthony, you hate everything I do, though. Yeah. You don't like it? Yeah. I think that's a great safety thing. One of the big problems we were having is people that were going South Lake Stevens Road would slide onto East Lake Stevens Drive and then pick up speed and run their vehicle into Janice's hillside. So we had to slow people down.
You mean the bridge transition?
No. There's that transportation benefit district we talked about. Some of the projects we'll do this year. 117th, we'll get some walkways going down 117th this year. We'll upgrade some ADA ramps. There's the 91st project from Lake Stevens Middle School down to 20th. And then we'll do some updated ramps along Vernon Road and North Lake Shore Drive this year.
You're not going to make 117 one way, right?
No, we project that out. It was not popular. Yeah, it was not popular. Yeah. All right. So some of the capital projects that we did this last year, we finished up Main Street. I think Main Street's looking really, really good down there. We did the Bayview Trail. We did quite a bit of pavement preservation this year from the roundabout down along North Lake Shore Drive. And then what we're working on this next year, we're going to build out sewer from along 131st into our Hartford industrial area. It'll go from where it currently ends just before Public Works all the way down to the Hartford intersection. And then we have a private developer who will bring it the rest of the way south. So we will now actually have sewer, hopefully by the end of the summer, throughout the entire industrial area. Why does that matter? Now those folks can do different things with their properties and hopefully increase jobs and productivity within the city. We're working on Frontier Heights Park Phase 2, doing some really cool improvements up there. We ground broke a couple of weeks ago for the new historical museum that will have some retail in it. That's down here at North Cove Park. That'll be a 3-story building. It'll have some retail on the bottom, some museum on the bottom, museum second floor, and then restaurant space on the 3rd floor. Talked about this a little bit, how we're moving City Hall this year. We should be in it by the end of the year and vacated out of North Cove Park. And what the plan is there is the main building of current City Hall will go away and we'll get some parking downtown. Here's some of the city events. Many of you plan these and are very informed on the city events that we're doing. I appreciate the Rotary for this. Zen City is our community engagement. Oftentimes you'll see a survey come through maybe on your social media, and that's done through Zen City. They do all our surveys, as well as they provide a lot of our, if you don't know, you can go into our capital projects site, and there'll be a website on each one of our projects, and you can follow them, and that's where the project managers update, and you'll get more information. One Wednesday out of the month, I do a leaders roundtable with all these organizations. We meet at the mill, we go around the table, and we talk about what everyone's doing. It's a great networking opportunity and an awareness opportunity as well. What are your questions for me?
On a negative side,
Yeah.
the parks.
Yeah.
Because of the cost of requiring the bill to be part of the cost structure whenever you use the park. I don't think that the chamber can afford to do the old fashioned lot.
Yeah.
We put the numbers to it and it's gonna be a big loss. Then when we sit down with our new treasurer who happens to be a CPA, the chamber hasn't made money on a lot of those activities ever. And so we're kind of putting dampers on things that are going to lose us money.
Yeah, I get that concern and keep me informed on how those numbers work out with your new treasurer. I will tell you this, Gary, the problem with, from the city standpoint is the parks right now is $3 million deficit.
I understand that.
And we've really got to, as a city, run this business somehow and be able to be paid for what we all want in our city. And I get it that sometimes the nonprofit groups may have to step up a little bit more, but that's where we're at.
But when the mill was built, the city said it was like $50 per office. Nobody wanted that. That wasn't the original plan. The original plan was no mill, wide open to the lake, and he built the mill. And I mean, we're looking at canceling Aquafest, you're taxing the festival of the trees. It just goes on and on and on.
Yeah, so how do we get parks fair?
Why did you hire so many people for parks? I mean,
Because you want services in parks.
I don't.
You don't want parks.
But I mean, I don't want to get this back and forth, but at the end of the day, taxing you're going after the road club, it doesn't need it, we're gonna charge $4,000. You've got Aquafest, where you want to charge us a ton of money, I can't get into the city what our costs would be. Is it 20% discount, 50% discount? What's 200 hours of overtime? It just goes on and on and on. It just feels like it's a crap on everybody who makes deficit. And I get it, but at the same time, it is gonna push us all out. I mean, Rotary left the mill, they're in a different place to do their hosting. It's just too expensive. Wow.
Mayor, can you put a bond up for a vote to fund parks?
Yeah, so one of the things we're doing right now is we're doing we're looking at having a third party really look at the budget and run a citizen-driven budgeting, fiscal financial committee. And what might come out of that is, hey, we want to put something in front of the voters, whether it's bond or levy, or whatever. I mean, I don't know what that tool is yet, to be able to get our.
Because the rental fees at a mill is never gonna make up the $3 million.
No, absolutely not. And yeah, it's a tough one. But we gotta somehow figure out what that.
I get it, just pushing the nonprofit. And it's,
But it also goes back to that, for the longest time, the city's never recouped its costs. And so does the city continue to subsidize at the detriment of other organizations who don't get the subsidy? Like, that's really the question.
I guess my question of business
Yeah.
standpoint, this owner, is how could we have got $3 billion into deficit without reacting to it like this?
Yeah.
Like, we should have been kind of, taking a look at this a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I feel like now it's becoming a constituent problem when it should have been managed.
I would not disagree. Yeah, and I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not.
No, it is right, because we stood it up and we didn't really look at how we're gonna pay.
Well, I just want to piggyback kind of on what Chris said when they first built the mill. It was thought the community that paid it was going to be a place where nonprofits could go and community could go, and it really has never become that. It's really been like Sherwood, we would love to do it in our community.
Yeah.
But
The
There-
costs for the.
it's completely out of our budget, and especially now when we're dealing with other cuts nationally and statewide, we just can't afford to do that. And I feel like Chris said, I get that you have to do the budget. I totally do, but in your presentation, you're talking about the $70 project on 20th, and we're already in the red. So why don't we focus on righting the ship first? And I'm not in government, so
Yeah.
this is just me, average citizen, looking at how I balance my checkbook.
Yeah.
And I just feel like there has got to be some provision. The city benefits from entities like Aquafest
Yeah.
and supporting nonprofit. And granted, we might not be able to pay for a lot of that. But Aquafest brings a ton of people to the community.
Sure.
And the city benefits with tax revenue and visibility and all the local businesses. And so I feel like it's not just about cost.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. Yeah. But we've got to figure out where the balance is. Yeah. And when you see us spending money in other areas, it's different pots of money.
But isn't that part of Parks and Rec when you're doing it?
When we're doing those projects, that money comes from state money or it comes from other money. But it does take parks people to administer them. Right.
Different, no,
Yeah.
altogether, develop that museum at a level.
Yeah.
From a business standpoint.
Yeah.
I personally would like to see a museum on the top 2 levels. Only because as an accessibility standpoint for a business, going up 3 levels to access the business is, for me, it would be, not an option. But that's just my opinion.
Have you seen the plans for Raquel?
I have.
Because I'd be interested in staying on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're down the road over it.
Yeah.
Changing shit, but
And there's been a couple of people that I know that have kind of maybe
question.
voiced interest. So,
Yeah, we have interest in both.
so I think it's an amazing space. I think it'll be an asset, but, just from a business standpoint, like accessibility.
Yeah.
Out of the restaurant, figure out that view. Says it's draw for community members and families together versus, the potential idea of whatever the historical museum society is gonna come up with for their space. You're gonna so highest and best use of space is, and I think if it's a sit down dinner time situation, fabulous, but if you're going up there to buy pies,
Yeah.
that might not.
No, I
want three floors to get.
Yeah, you want dining.
I would rather go.
And that's what we're focused.
Two questions. Will be gonna be discussed. What is the, museum gonna pay for rent in their place?
I don't think we have anything on it.
$1 for 10 years.
What's that?
I heard it's $1 for 10 years.
That probably is right, because we just located them out of their previous spot.
What's the roll call? 60. But the biggest question, and it's an open room, this is a tough one, but we hear all this budget deficit, and can you explain why the city's spending $800,000 trying to split for the sewer?
Chris, you and I could have a sit down and hash out your problems with me in the city. It's not the forum for it.
We're just talking about deficits. I mean, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to see what's happening. I mean, it's such a tough issue.
Yeah, let's get good and you can hash out your problems with me. I have no problem. That's good.
So we're in the city's organization is economic development, and what are you doing in that regard?
Yeah, the economic development, so a couple of years ago, we had a firm that did economic development for us. And they came in, they looked at all the parcels that we had available, and they would go represent us at different shows and bring in different things. And one of the things we recognized is a couple things. We don't have a lot of places to put things. And we were recognizing at the shows that if it was an organization that wanted to be here, they were going to use that, right? So, so the economic development side really kind of happens, and I'll give you a great example. So when we did the city hall, when we did the city hall move, that required those folks to build across the street under the complex. If you haven't been over there, they filled that overnight, right? So it's, our biggest constraint is we don't have buildable land left to build commercial areas to bring in the people that we want to bring in. Now, having said that, there is space along 20th that I think we're going to start seeing that pick up. So as long as we can build some commercial space, I think it's filled pretty quickly, and that helps out the economic development. Some of the other big projects, you know, the senior housing that's going on up on Silver Hill, that's going to bring in quite a few jobs and create some cool opportunities for our seniors up there. I think one of my concerns with economic development, especially in our commercial zone, is Senate Bill 6026 did pass. So now you could actually, instead of seeing commercial development on 20th, you could see 5-story apartments only going on 20th, and that would kill it.
So that bill did pass where they can only build apartment building instead of retail with
It's sitting on the governor.
That's dependent on landowner.
Landowner has all the
Sure, sure, but that landowner can now trump the city and say, you know, I'm not gonna build, you know, a commercial area, I'm gonna build 5 stories with only apartments, which is probably more profitable than commercial. What else you got? Hey, thanks so much for your time, and, more than anything, thanks for everything you guys do in the city, it makes my job.
Yeah, I'm getting all the I want you to take a picture of No. There's probably some.
I know.
Happy St. Patty's Day, thank you.
Budget.
When I was in the work industry, I worked with a man named Ron Miller, and he had his own suit. And he had a mass funnel, pretty good for like money. Two friends are pretty and he rented them both out, he sleep on his side, having to one. And he wanted to retire and have them up front.
You feeling pretty good? Everything okay?
And so I feel like there's gotta be a balance on the higher healthcare. Actually.